I've studied in England, lived in Paris, and later moved to Norway. So throughout this journey, I've seen a wide variety of styles and fashion in fall. But there are certain things that I have never ever seen elegant ladies wear. In this video, I'm gonna share all of these things with you and tell you what to wear instead if you want to dress elegantly. First thing that elegant ladies never wear in fall is a fully fall themed color palette. And the reason is that that is actually too literal and too costumey. An elegant lady in fall is going to make allusions to the season, but not only through the colors. She's also going to do it through the materials that she chooses. What we want to convey is coming back to something a bit more inside, a bit more cozy, to protect ourselves from the rain. So that doesn't mean that elegant ladies will never make a reference to fall colors in their clothing, but they're going to do it with a bit more subtlety. So it's going to be just one piece, for example, that's going to have a fall color. You can think of it as having your own style, but making some minor tweaks to reference the season. And the second thing elegant ladies never wear in fall is a flannel plaid shirt, which you've probably heard many times over. And the reason is that these are way too rustic to convey elegance. It's rustic first because it's associated to the lumberjack, cutting wood, working hard kind of aesthetic, which is not aligned with a city timeless elegance. The second reason is that they're a bit of that seasonal cliche, so they end up being a little bit costumey. They also don't really tailor well because, you know, they're mass produced, they're usually not very good quality, whereas elegance is very much about tailored fits. Alternatively, because tartan, which is this pattern, is a classic cultural reference. It comes from Scotland, where every family had their own specific pattern. So it is absolutely part of an elegant style, but it will be so if you use it in a much more subtle way. So as an accent inside of your coat, as your scarf, or as your skirt. Number 3 is the combo skirt ankle boots. And I know this style is also very popular, but from a silhouette perspective, it actually cuts the leg. It also has this costumey connotation because it was so popular as a style in the 2010s that today it has kind of shifted to the same pumpkin patch aesthetic. But luckily, if you love that combo, there is absolutely a way to make it look elegant. And what matters the most is that you don't cut your leg. So if you're wearing a long flowy skirt, then your boot should go further than the hem of the skirt so that we create that visual continuity with your leg. And if your skirt is short, then a long boot with tights matching the color of the boot is going to create that illusion that your leg is uninterrupted. Number 4 is Timberland Ugg boots, Vans, and Doc Martens. And the reason is first for Timberlands that they also are connoted with this lumberjack pumpkin patch aesthetic. They're also really big and chunky, and in general, if you want an elegant silhouette, that's something that you want to avoid, as a big foot is not feminine and graceful. Ugg boots, I've talked about them in other videos. They are comfortable, but they don't convey elegance in any way because of their silhouette, because of the materials and the foamy sole. It will just decrease the elegance of any outfit by 1,000. Vans are very much associated with Californian skate culture, which is not a reference that we're looking for if we want to be elegant in fall. And they also have that 2010 Avril Lavigne, a little grunge connotation, which is also completely misaligned with an elegant style. And Doc Martens have, since the 60s, that punk rock kind of connotation, and they're also very chunky. So silhouette wise it's not aligned, and connotation wise it's also not classic and refined. Instead of Timberlands, a structured Chelsea boot is going to be the perfect way to look elegant. They go with everything, they're awesome. Instead of Uggs, you can go with either a suede boot or a suede loafer, depending on the kind of Uggs that you like. Instead of Vans, a minimalist leather white sneaker is going to be something that you're also going to be able to pair with everything, and that always looks elegant. And instead of Doc Martens, a more equestrian boot is going to have still that lacy style, but in a much more refined silhouette. Number 5 are blanket scarves. The reason why these don't look good is because they are way too big for the silhouette, and they completely break proportions, making the outfit not homogeneous to the eye. It also has that fragile little girl connotation of, oh, I'm cold, I'm so tiny, and my scarf is so big, which is not the kind of femininity we want to convey when we are a strong, independent, elegant woman. When you want to carry yourself elegantly, you're not trying to be too cozy, because cozy has this fragile retreat, like, oh, I'm so cold kind of vibe. Instead, when we want to dress elegantly, we want to show that we're comfortable in how we are dressed and how we look. So we don't need to protect ourselves in something that envelopes ourselves so much. It doesn't mean that you can't convey coziness in your outfit, but then it should be much more subtle through a choice of materials and something that still respects elegant proportions. Number 6 is beanies with pom-pom, because pom-pom beanies, that's hard to say, have a little girl childish connotation. So it's really cute on a little girl. On a grown woman, it brings that little girl connotation to the outfit, and then all of a sudden it makes it harder to convey that responsible, strong, anchored vibe that an elegant woman would have. Instead, it's very simple. A beanie without a pom-pom is always going to look elegant. Choose it in a color that's quite nude and quite muted, so you can pair it with anything that you'd like. And because it has a neutral vibe, it's not going to send any connotation in one way or another that you wouldn't want. Alternatively, if you hate beanies, a nice headband is also a good solution. As you may know, we're on our way to celebrating 250,000 subscribers, and I'm extremely grateful for that. And to thank you, I would like to gift one of you this beautiful Pollen bag in camel cuir grainé. So if you would like to participate to the giveaway, I invite you to fill out the form in the description. It's a very short form, and we'll announce the winner as soon as we hit 250,000 subscribers. Number 7 is chunky polyester sweaters or cardigans. First, they're made of polyester, so they look cheap. It probably is also going to pill very quickly, and also because they are poor quality, shitty material, they tend to have a poor shape to begin with and then an even worse shape after a few washes. Alternatively, it's pretty simple. Any kind of natural material is going to convey that you have taste and refinement, and you don't need to spend a salary on a good piece. Actually, if you do the calculation, you will see that all the shitty pullovers that you've bought and now don't look so good, that you don't really want to wear, that are cluttering your wardrobe, all together they probably amount to more than if you had bought a $200 sweater in real wool. These last, these don't lose their shape, and these you can wear season after season and still look great. You look more elegant if you wear the same pieces on repeat and year after year than if you always change with the trends, because elegance is about knowing who you are, what you want, how you want to convey your personality to the world. And if you follow trends and if you change all the time, then you can't convey that groundedness. You're gonna look richer than if you buy new things all the time. Number 8 is pleated skirts, because of the schoolgirl association. It has very much this sexy uniform kind of connotation because it's very short, and it's also associated to sexiness in imagery like mangas, for example. So when you're choosing a pleated skirt, you are really bringing all of that connotation to your outfit, and it's going to be difficult to look elegant because the sexy connotation is so strong. On top of that, they also have that Hogwarts cute, like fall pumpkin, dark academia kind of connotation, and that's a bit gimmicky, that's a bit playful, and it's not what we're looking for when we want to dress elegantly. And it's a bit of a shame in my opinion, because pleats have a long history. Dior brought it back and associated it with timeless femininity. So because of that history, it's definitely something that belongs to an elegant wardrobe, but not so short. So first option is just a longer pleated skirt. Second option is a skirt that is a bit less pleated, so it's a bit less on the nose, so the connotation is a bit weaker, and to pair them with boots that cover enough of your leg so that there's not so much of the leg sticking out, because the more leg, the sexier the outfit, and elegance is not about that kind of sexy. It has to be way more suggested. So when you're showing a little bit of thigh, it's okay, we are in the elegant realm. Number 9 is fedora hats and berets. Fedora hats because they also have that pumpkin patch connotation. It's a very costumey fall outfit, and because it has very much of that mafia gangster detective kind of connotation, it's difficult to wear it without it looking costumey. And I really looked for examples of fedora hats worn elegantly. Even with the most elegant outfit, their connotation is still so strong that we're still a bit in the costumey realm. And then berets are just so costumey because they are the, oh, I'm a French girl or a French tourist in Paris. French women don't wear berets. It hasn't been worn non-ironically for a little while in France. At least I just never see it. And so when you wear a beret, you're directly going into the French costume, beret baguette kind of realm. And that's not elegant at all. And so alternatively, a beanie is going to be the best option if you want any kind of headgear, because it has a neutral vibe, it goes with everything, and if you choose it and natural fibers, it's going to look expensive no matter what. And number 10 is the combination florals and chunky knit. These are not elegant because they're a bit on the nose. It's a bit like, oh, it was summer in the bottom, and then, but it's winter now, it's cold, so chunky knit on the top. So it doesn't convey the kind of refinement that an elegant lady wants to convey. It also tends to be a bit of a visual clutter because the chunky knit usually has knitting patterns, so there's already something interesting going on at the top, and then the bottom is flowery, so there's also something going on at the bottom. And also because it's worn a lot during the fall, it also has this costumey vibe, so that it's a bit like if you were putting on your fall uniform, and once again you're following a trend and not conveying your personality with a fall tweak. Alternatively, florals, because florals can absolutely be worn in fall, but with a fine knit, so we don't have bulge over bulge and busy over busy, and in natural fibers as much as you can, because that really makes a difference. So thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you're gonna have a great fall. If you would like a chance to win this beautiful pull-and bag, I invite you to fill out the form in the description, and if you enjoyed what you saw, you're more than welcome to subscribe. And in any case, I will see you very happily in the next one. À bientôt!